My name is Harris Qureshi, and I'm part of the computer servicing group. We will talk about database security. So this is where we are in the bigger scheme of things. So let's talk about security considerations. Security is not an out-of-box component and need to be considered at design phase. It is very important for the developers to understand which combination of feature and functionality are most appropriate to counter known threats of today and tomorrow. So let me show you our hosting inventory and what we are protecting. 220 Oracle databases, 75% on AIX and 25% on eCloud. 385 SQL Server databases, all on eCloud. And starting this fiscal year, we embarked on a new journey of open source databases. Idea is to bring competitive, for the customers, so we can have a lower licensing cost model. So for that, we have Postgres as well as MySQL. So we have one database in Postgres and a couple of them in MySQL. And we're working with the customers right now to bring in more if there's need. So let's talk about our security controls. This is the same industry standard. We have 3 A's. Authenticate, authorize, and audit. The first two give us the security access controls. And this is our first line of defense. So unique identifying information as username or password. Secondly, with the role-based access, whoever, or for segregation of duties. And lastly, record logins for audit purposes. As mentioned, this is the first line of defense. So we have protected the database from the outside. Our first line of defense was in track 1, but this is internally, this is our first line. Now, let me show you what we are protecting and how we're protecting. So we leverage license option, which is called Transparent Data Encryption, TDE. So we encrypt the databases with that. And the purpose is that in the unlikely event we had made it out to the server, our database is encrypted at the file level. So they would not, those files would be useless without the key, which we are protecting. So we cannot talk about encryption and not think about performance, as it was one of the concerns for our customers, because for the previous version, for Oracle specifically 11G, it did fail their proof of concept. But starting in 12C, the new version of Oracle, I'm glad to report that that concern has been addressed, and it is no longer a concern. And not only that, but all our law enforcement agencies, their databases have been successfully encrypted, and there are no issues thus far. So we have law enforcement databases and SQL Server. However, in SQL Server, TDE is not on the standard edition, but it is on the enterprise edition. So remember I mentioned in the first slide that security, we need to consider that. If we need encryption, that we would pick the enterprise edition. Postgres is our next offering, and TDE is not native to Postgres, but it makes up with different components to come up to that level. This is an open source database, and it's getting there. So we do currently TDE at rest through column and OS level, and in transit through SSL and SSH. And MySQL has built-in TDE, and it's very easy to encrypt. Can everybody hear me in the back? Are you? Okay, thank you. If you can't, just let me know. So the second part of the TDE is, the first is encryption, and the second is redaction. So why do we redact? So only the sensitive data can be seen by people with access, only privileged users can see it, and nobody else. And the example for redaction is like the last four social. And redaction is across the board, except for Postgres. The thing that we can So that was our second line of defense was encryption. Now, what do we do to make sure that the people that are in the database can be monitored? So that for that, we log in audits. We log in, we record the logins, which is covered under audit, and which is across the board. Now, we talked about the first line of defense, the second line of defense, which is encryption. First, nobody gets in the database unless you have valid reason or your credentials. Secondly, we have the database encrypted at the file level. What's the third thing? What's going on that if we were in track one, the vulnerabilities that they come up, they need to be those gaps need to be closed. That's where patching comes in. Patches are released by vendors on different schedules and are applied accordingly. And an interesting fact about patching is that over 60% of the breaches that occurred, the vulnerability which was patched, or which had a patch out already, was 6 months already, the patch was out. So it's very important that we apply those patches as soon as they come out. Now, we covered database, we covered the components. Also, the backup is very important that when we do backups, that is a whole database right there. So what we do, as a standard, we encrypt all backups to prevent data loss. And, even with all the security, we still have options for secure VLANs. So all the databases, just so you know, they are all inside the intranet. So, but we can also put them on secure VLANs as well as high-risk VLANs, depending on the customer request. We also have data masking, to protect the live data from production. So when the data gets cloned, we can mask it so it does not have any issues or they won't have access to it. Now, I would like to, this is about ISD, how we are a trusted partner and provider of choice. And you might ask, why? So we have a few points here that we can discuss. For example, we used to be the on-prem people, we used to be provide you services, but now we can follow you on the cloud, on the public cloud. We have 24/7 monitoring and alerting. The Enterprise Command Center that you probably, I hope you had a tour. Their motto is, we don't sleep, so you can. So that is a very good feeling to know that somebody is there, somebody is looking after you. We have an emphasis on security, you can all tell. We had a summit, so we're right there. What I really want to bring out is the customer focus that we have, and I would like to bring a scenario to present our case. ISD is very conscious about end-of-life systems. As we are a government entity and we support all of our customers are government entities, so we're bound to have legacy applications. So we try to make sure that all of the systems, components, everything is supported at the vendor level, and if not, we rush to secure them. We came across one application specifically, just for this, because of lack of time, I'll just give one example. That application was not only on the Oracle 9.9 database, which was desupported in 2003, but also on a hardware, which was HPUX, which also desupported around the same time, and is not even supported by our server team anymore. So think about it. No bug fixes, no security patches, no support from the vendor, and no monitoring capability, unless of course we upgrade. So we kind of realized the threat, saw the opportunity, got together, made a plan. Let's build a new AIX system, AIX database or server, and put the new Oracle 12c version on it, and let's present it to the customer. So we did all the homework, got our ducks in a row, went to the customer. You would think that the person said yes, right? Unfortunately, no. Sometimes with our customer, what happens is they did not have the resources to either upgrade nor to do a platform migration. So we can all see that this is a pretty bad situation to be in, right? Like normal vendors, they would just shut down the service. This is a security issue, whatever. Luckily, it was all inside the intranet. So what did ISD do? Did we boot them off the island, bring your torch, the council has spoken. No, we continue to support them. And how do we do that? We, because it was below our patching schedule standard, our monitoring enterprise solutions did not have agents for it. So what did we do? We wrote custom scripts. We wrote custom scripts at the database level. The server team was extra vigilant. We monitored it. And by the way, the customer did tell us, "Hey, yeah, we are planning to migrate off this application because this is not even certified with 10G. And here we are trying to bring it on 12C, 3 versions after that." So we continue to support the customer until they were ready to migrate off. And how do we do that? By our highly technical engineers with extensive industry experience. Thank you for your time. I appreciate that. I would like to now bring Francis Ho, who would cover the operating system security.
Thank you, Hannes.